Hello everyone, welcome. In this particular exercise we're going to take a look into the Azure Traffic Manager. This lab is really available on the Microsoft Azure documentation, and once you get to the lab it should ask you to create the demo environment, and you just give the permission and it should give you this Azure shell. We'll just run through the commands and just get you a feel for how it works, and see if we can complete this exercise without any problem. So Traffic Manager is a really great feature where you want, you have a lot of data that you want to stream, maybe in different parts of the world, and you can use that Azure Traffic Manager as one of the high availability solution in your business, where based on the traffic it can send based on the your location, latency, priority. There are many different types that is supported by the Traffic Manager, so it can evaluate where to send the traffic based on the rules that you define, and then have the best possible end user experience for your customers. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to create a Traffic Manager profile, and to that it's really easy. So it's create easy network Traffic Manager profile. So you're gonna put that profile in this is particular resource group name. TM music stream priority is the name of the Traffic Manager profile. Routing method is the priority, so we are going to assign priority, and based on the priority is going to direct the traffic. And unique DNS name, and then is going to create TM music stream priority dash and then a random number. So hit enter. So that should create our Traffic Manager profile, and once we have that, we can run this command to deploy a resource manager template. And in this one we're going to create two servers, one in the East Asia and another in the West US region. So copy this, paste it here, and so it's actually going to get the template URI. It's in the GitHub, so GitHub has everything configured. That's going to deploy one server in one part of the world, another in the other part of the world. So just hit enter, and it should be running just fine. So we are now deploying the web application. So once that's done, we also need to add a couple of endpoints to our Traffic Manager. And what we're going to do, we are first going to store the IP address of our web applications or virtual machines as West ID and East ID. Then we'll run some commands, okay, and the command will add the network endpoint. So here what you're doing, you're getting the West ID, okay, then you're running a Traffic Manager endpoint create, so you're adding the endpoint, and what you're doing, you're passing this West ID as a parameter. Okay, you're doing the same thing over here. You're storing this ID first, and once that's done, you are passing that East ID in the next command, target row resource ID. Okay, so as soon as this creation of this Traffic Manager profile is done, we'll come back and we'll start working on it. This is going on. Let's go to our portal for my own subscription, and let's delete one of the resource group that I created for the last lab, because I still have some time. Guys, this is still running, and that's something you should be doing if you're practicing working on labs. You should go back and time to time clean up your resources, because these resources, they're not needed for a lot of time. It's just because you have created for the lab, and if you don't delete it, it will just keep on incurring cost and just take money out of your whatever subscription that you have. Okay, so we have started deleting that particular resource group. I don't think anything else is super critical at this time. So yeah, so I'm good. So Yeah, right now I'm good. So let's see what's going on over here. It's still running. Since this is still running, I'm just going to pause the video. As soon as this is done, we'll come back and restart the lab. Alright everyone, so this traffic manager profile is now deployed and it's successful. So what we have done so far, once again, if you go back, we have created excuse me, a traffic manager profile. In that profile we have deployed this web application. Okay, so let's look at the command that we ran. We deployed a lot of things. Okay, that's the group create. And here we have provided the resource group and that template we have provided, and provide the template parameters. So at the traffic endpoint to the traffic manager, so we gotta run this command. We haven't done that, so let's copy that. So it's getting your IP addresses and then assigning those IP addresses to the traffic manager profile. So this should all be done. This code uses priority that we have seen. So in the first we have 2, and the last one we have 2, and this one, the first one, we have 1. Okay, now taste the application. Let's take a look at the DNS show of the lab. So let's copy this command and just run it. Let's see what I get. Okay, so it gave you some stuff. It gave you the IP address, name of the IP address, name of the DNS name. So in the address for the traffic manager profile should match the IP address of the West 2 VM public unique PIP IP address assigned to the West VM virtual machine. So that is also expected. So the public IP address for this particular VM is assigned to this particular virtual machine. Alright, go to the traffic manager profile, fully qualified domain name. Your request is routed to the endpoint that is responded with the highest priority. So for this one, you just copy. You see that this command actually echoing the response from the HTTP request. Okay. So what is this doing? This is you're echoing easy network traffic manager profile show, and then it's going to give you back the traffic manager profile. So you look at TM music stream priority 17124. So that is the DNS entry for the traffic manager itself, not the web app. So what is Google saying? Copy this, what is Microsoft is saying, and then go to a browser and just try to access that. So if you try to access that, it's now going to the West. Welcome to the music stream. This is the West 2 US region. Excuse me. Now disable the primary endpoint. So we can disable the primary endpoint like this. Okay. So if we disable that, what do you think is going to happen when we try to go to the other network? So let's look at the DNS show of the web app for the traffic manager profile. So let's do all of that. So this is the DNS entry, and now this DNS entry is referring back to the East Asia cloud.azure.com. So if I now copy all of that and again try to go to that, now it's telling me that is the East Asia region. So this one was in the West Asia and this one is now in the East Asia region. So now what we need to do, we need to optimize application across regions by using performance routing. Let's see if there's any lab. So yes, there's a little bit. So what is performance routing? This method connects user with the server that performs best for the user. It might be better performing because it's physically closer to the user, or might be due to congestion on the internet network connectivity. Okay, so if you look at this, right, here's a traffic manager. So as a user, you're going to come to the traffic manager and you have A, B, D, E and C, all of that deployed in different regions. Now what do you expect? If it comes back here, it typically would, the closest one most likely will have the best performance, but for some reason, if something congestion is going on or anything else, maybe the B or D, they are working better than A, so it will send you the right one when the A is not working properly. So here's our exercise, which is kind of a continuation. So optimize applications across regions by performance routing. Well, in this one you have to create the traffic manager profile using performance routing this time. Okay, so previously we used it, we used a priority, but in this one they're saying no, not use priority, let's do it by performance routing. And as a matter of fact, let's do this exercise as completely separate lab, so these two labs do not have any overlap. So for the previous lab, we have completed our setting up our traffic manager profile, and we did it for the based on the priority, and we have completed the lab. Let's meet in the next video and just separate this out, where we are setting up a performance based routing for the traffic manager. Alright, thank you. See you in a little bit.